Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come one, come all. Come everybody from far and wide. We are living in the age of projection. You see, you see it all on social media, whether it's your personal Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, X, even on YouTube. You see it in real life. A lot of people walk around projecting how they feel, how they process things onto you. They'll even go as far as claiming they're gonna pray for you. And then you'll hear a bunch of parrots coming in the comment section chirping. Yeah, you just gotta pray for them and this and that. Because if you don't think like them, if you don't move the way they envision you moving, if you don't fit in the box, the particular box they want to place you in, all of a sudden you're miserable, you're evil. Something's wrong with you. How dare you think differently than me? Even if the things you say, no matter how harshly you say them, makes a whole lot of sense, plus there's actual facts and data backing up what you're saying. Even if you're able to point things out to the T, you can specifically point things out and point to the numbers and data to back up what you're saying. But they will ignore all of that because they feel a certain way. And at that point in time, because they don't have any intellectual weapons to combat you with, to debate you with, at that point, they resort to calling you names, gaslighting, projection. You're evil, you're miserable, you're a bad person because you don't think like me. You don't want to walk with me and the rest of the sheep. So obviously there must be something wrong with you. And I've noticed that a lot through my years, through my trials and tribulations. And you guys will notice it too. All you got to do is pay attention. Pay attention whether you're talking to people face to face in person. See, a lot of times they not going to really reveal that until they get online and talk to you. And you look at the Harris-Walz campaign, the Biden administration as a whole, there's a whole lot of projection and gaslighting going on there. They are the perfect representation of what I'm talking about. And it's bleeding down into every fiber of society right now. And it is indeed a problem. I've been sitting back. I've been doing more sports content lately. because talking about politics and the economy and all that stuff to people is starting, especially the black community. It's getting on my nerve. I've gotten debating a lot of these idiots have given me caffeine headaches. For those of you that drink coffee, if you've ever had a caffeine headache, like usually for those that don't drink coffee, if you like your coffee strong, that's a lot of caffeine. Your body tends to get used to that strong brewing of coffee. Now, when you stop drinking that every day, you take off a few days, you take off a few weeks maybe, your body goes through kind of a withdrawal, and sometimes you'll get a caffeine headache that is, in my opinion, on par with a migraine. You can literally feel your head aching. These are the kind of headaches I've gotten talking about politics with black people. Especially when I let them know, yes, I am a conservative. I am a Republican. And just the back and forth, and no matter how much logic you throw at them, they always have an excuse why you should vote blue no matter who. Those of you that follow me online, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on Instagram, you'll see that I like to mix in humorous things that will make you laugh, interesting things, information that some of us did not know. I like to mix those in with politics and hard-hitting facts about society, uncomfortable conversations that people try to avoid. They try to gaslight you. They try to hit you with the ad hominem attacks, name calling, smearing, character assassination. Oh, you're stupid. You don't know this. You don't know that. Why should I listen to you? And then you ask them a simple question. Okay, all right. Everything you just said is right. Now, can you answer this question for me? What are her policies? What is Kamala Harris's policies? What's so good about the Biden-Harris administration that makes you want 4 more years? They never answer that question. And now, as of recently, Kamala Harris has given her like little morsels of what her policies would entail, and they are horrible. Unless you want to be under a similar regime as communist China, the USSR. Remember Russia, the Red Curtain? Remember that? Is that the kind of government you want ruling over you? You see, it doesn't matter if what I say hurts your little feelings. You need to hear this. This is that Robitussin. You need that Robitussin with no additives, just straight castor oil style. It needs to taste nasty. It needs to feel nasty. You need to be offended because this will help you. But see, no. You see, now everybody has gotten so complacently comfortable in the muck and mire. They're even gone as far as saying, we're not in a recession. We've never been in a recession. What are you talking about, Red Blizzy? What have you been paying attention to the last 4 years? Obviously, it has not been what's going on in the world. And the mainstream media is complicit. They are ushering in this age of projection because they are engaging in the same tactics as the liberal left, of which is bleeding down into society. And this is what's destroying this country. You see, when you're dealing with yourself, the individual, one way that you can make yourself better you have to recognize like what your weak points are, what your weaknesses are, so you can direct your energy towards those weaknesses, and you can make that your strength. At the very least, you can smooth it out to where it's no longer a weakness. It's no longer a hindrance to you. That's self-correction. Because none of us are perfect. We don't have all the answers, but the difference is those of us that recognize that we don't have all the answers, we're eager to always learn, we're always researching, we're always looking for reasons why things are happening, and if it's a bad outcome and we want a different result, we look for ways to get that different result. This is what a fully actualized grown adult does. But the problem is you have a lot of child adults. You have a lot of children walking around in adult bodies. So you don't think anything you do and say is wrong? And this is why a lot of you vote the way you vote. You know damn well, if you actually been paying attention, you know Democrats don't mean no good to society as a whole, especially the black community. But you guys have been, throughout your whole lives, brainwashed into thinking that the Democrats are for you. And I used to be one of you, so I can speak about this because I used to be on that side of the fence too. I grew up the same way because of my relatives, because of my mom, my dad, of whom both are still staunch Democrats. No matter how many facts I hurl at them, I can even put some facts and numbers in a slingshot and flick it at them, and they'll still duck like Neo in the Matrix. You know how he was ducking them bullets? It's like they don't want any truth. They are content believing everything MSNBC tells them. Whatever those cackling hyenas on The View say, oh, well, they must know what they're talking about. Of which, you know, that's projection, because before Donald Trump was president, they loved that man. When he first mentioned he was going to run for president, they didn't have all this hate and vitriol for him because he was cool with Democrats back then. It's probably why he ran as a Republican, because he realized you guys are not really what you project yourselves to be. You guys actually are in the same mindset of the Democrats that formed the KKK. And you know what black people's favorite reverse card to play out the Uno deck? When you mention that Abraham Lincoln was a Republican who was against slavery, when you mention the Republican Party was formed to go against slavery, black people's favorite reverse card they like to play is, well, you know the parties have switched, right? No, the only thing that has switched is your brain. The off switch in it has switched when it comes to talking about the Democratic Party and this liberal, leftist, Marxist, socialist agenda that you ironically are pushing. Meanwhile, you have illegal immigrants taking over apartment complexes in Denver, Colorado. Thanks to your left-wing overlords. Now you tell me, and a lot of y'all claim to be so pro-black, pro-blickety-blickety-black, walking down the street with your fists in the air, waving them around like you just don't care. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Blackety-blick, blackety-blick-blick-blick. Tell me this. How did you guys and gals get so easily fooled by the Democratic Party right now, who now, ironically, are saying that Kamala Harris was never border czar, even though there's actual video footage of Joe Biden anointing her that, putting her in charge of the border. And now you want to gaslight everybody into thinking that that never happened. You guys and the mainstream leftist media, you guys are two sides of the same coin. The wing of the same bird, the same rotten buzzard that's the liberal Democratic Party. You guys are stupid. And I don't care who gets offended by this. You need this Robitussin down your gullet. So now they want us to believe that she's not the border czar. She never was the border czar. The policies of the Biden administration has destroyed this country. The border is wide open. It's the equivalent of how a lot of you idiots act on Black Friday when the stores open. That's how our southern border is right now. The idiocy of this administration and a lot of the people in the black community still on that vote blue no matter who bullshit. And all you got to do is just pay attention and look at things from an objective point of view. And you can wake up out of the spell the Democrats have you under if you choose to. You can't complain about high inflation. You can't complain about a carton of eggs, 12 in a carton, costing $12. For those of you that put regular gas in your cars, when you're paying $6, $7 a gallon at the gas pump, you mean to tell me you're not going to care as long as there's a quote-unquote black woman in the White House? First of all, you guys don't know shit. A lot of what goes into being the president of the United States is optics, and this is why no president since Jimmy Carter. Was it Jimmy Carter? Might have been Richard Nixon. I think Nixon. The last president that was under 6 feet tall, I think was Nixon. He was 5'11". And that's because of the optics. When you're meeting with these foreign dignitaries and presidents and princes of countries, the image that America wants to project is strength. And the president should exude that. When a president walks in the room, it should be a dude that's at least 6 feet tall and above. That historically that's how it's always been for a reason. Donald Trump is 6'3". He fits that bill. Kamala Harris is 5'2". There's different levels to what's going on, but you guys are so wrapped up in, oh, she's black, blickety black, of which that's highly debatable. Before she was vice president, before she got on this recent campaign of stepping in to become president, you very rarely heard her mention anything about her father. almost as if she had a certain level of hatred towards him. When she went on the cooking show with what's her name, Mindy, and she says, "Oh, okay, you're Indian like me, right?" She says, "Yes." She's always outwardly promoted being Indian, and there's nothing wrong with that. She never really mentioned anything about her father. This lead me to think that there's some kind of animus there, but now she needs him based on him being half Jamaican, maybe. And he probably doesn't even identify with the Jamaican part because he's mixed too. So at best, Kamala's what, 15, 20% black? Oh, the one drop rule. The one drop rule ideology that you're using came from the same people that a lot of y'all hate because of your obsession with being racist. But yeah, take a look around. It's on your tube. It's on your airwaves. You walk down the street. You listen to people talk. We are in the age of projection. No accountability. Accountability is a foreign language to a lot of you nowadays. The idiocy. I'm out.